Good morning, everybody. I'm really happy to have you here with me today. We had fire safety last week, and we were able to have you guys come and visit and see the fire trucks. It was really great. I hope you guys had as much fun as I did. This week, I'm going to talk about pumpkins. You guys like pumpkins? One of my favorite things about pumpkins are that they are orange. I love the color orange, just like my shirt. That's right. Are you wearing orange today? Awesome. Well, let's go ahead and start with our hello song. We clap and sing hello. We clap and sing hello. In our homes it's story time. We clap and sing hello. We wave and sing hello. We wave and sing hello. In our homes it's story time. We wave and sing hello. We stomp and sing hello. We stomp and sing hello. In our homes it's story time. We stomp and sing hello. Great job. Well, I'll just go ahead and get right into our first spooky book. That's right, you heard spooky. What kind of things make you think of spooky things? Maybe shadows in the dark, black cats, ghosts, monsters, werewolves, jack-o'-lanterns. Let's see what this book is spooky. A Very Scary Haunted House by Joanne Barkin. Eleanor Gould had many, many relatives. Of all of those relatives, Great Aunt Agatha was her favorite. Eleanor visited her aunt every Tuesday. That there is Aunt Agatha. One Tuesday evening, Eleanor Gould knocked on Great Aunt Agatha's door just the way she always did. She waited, but no one came to the door. "How very strange," Eleanor said. So she knocked again. Finally, she tried the doorknob, and the door opened, and Eleanor stepped inside. But no one was there to greet her. The house was dark, so Eleanor slowly made her way to the living room. "Aunt Agatha," she whispered. "Aunt Agatha?" Then, suddenly, Eleanor heard a strange sound, a scratching, scrambling sound. "Monsters!" gasped Eleanor. Big, hairy, claw-footed monsters. But Eleanor turned on the light as fast as she could, and the living room looked just the way it always did. Eleanor sighed with relief. No monsters, but where did that scratching, scrambly sound come from? Eleanor walked into the library. Before she could turn on the light, she heard another sound. Thump, 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 like the thumping of mummies walking at night. Eleanor was terrified. Eleanor switched on the lights and looked around. "No mummies," she said with a sigh of relief. "The library looks just as though it has always looked." But where did that thumping sound come from, she wondered. So she continued to explore. Eleanor started upstairs to look for Aunt Agatha, but the wood steps creaked just the way they always did. So, halfway up the stairs, she heard another sound. A deep, rumbling, grumbling, breathing sound, like the sound of werewolves just before they pounce. Eleanor was scared. The rumbling, grumbling, breathing turned into a roar. At the top of the stairs, Eleanor saw a flash of light. "That came from the bathroom," she whispered. Eleanor looked at the half-open door. She took a deep breath. She pushed the door open and... "Oh my," said Eleanor. "It's a dragon." As the creature in the bathroom breathed, it made a deep, rumbling, grumbling sound. Then, with a flash of light and a great roar, flames leapt out of his mouth. As the large claw-footed monster walked across the floor, it made a scratching, scrambling sound. And then the heavy tail went thump, thump, thump. Well, those were all the sounds that she heard earlier in the book. But to her surprise, it was just Aunt Agatha's pet baby dragon. Just behind Edward stood Great Aunt Agatha right there. "Hello, Eleanor dear," she said. "I didn't hear you come in. Edward's been making so much noise. I've been teaching him how to heat up his bath water. But Eleanor dear, why are you so pale?" Well, Eleanor smiled. "I thought there was something scary going on," she said. "Silly me. This house is perfectly normal, the way it always is." The end. I don't know about you, but that seems spooky to me, so I'm glad that's not how my house normally is. What did you guys think? Very true. Well, I saw a lot of spider webs in that house, in that book, and it reminded me of a song. Can you guys think of what song I'd like to sing with spider webs? Not so much spider webs, but a spider. That's right. Itsy bitsy spider. Can you guys get your spiders out? The itsy bitsy spider went up the water spout. Down came the rain and washed the spider out. Out came the sun and dried up all the rain. And the eensy weensy spider went up the spout again. Good job. All right, let's do it really loud this time. Are you ready? The itsy bitsy spider went up the water spout. Down came the rain and washed the spider out. Out came the sun and dried up all the rain. And the eensy weensy spider went up the spout again. Good job. Hey, I'll tell you what, let's do it a third time, but this time let's do it the opposite of loud. Do you know what the opposite of loud is? That's right, quiet. Are you ready? Itsy bitsy spider went up the water spout. Down came the rain and washed the spider out. Out came the sun and dried up all the rain. And the eensy weensy spider went up the spout again. Good job. That really was a great song, and you guys sang so well. For my next book, there is a scarecrow in it. Normally, I think scarecrows are spooky, but this one seems to be very nice. His name is Jeb. This book is called Jeb Scarecrow's Pumpkin Patch. Let's see what Jeb gets into. Well, it's mighty hard work scaring crows all day. Crows don't scare easy. A scarecrow's got to flap and wave his arms around and kick and hurl his legs, to frighten the birds. He's got to look like a wild man before he can scare those pesky, seed-guzzling, fruit-picking crows away. Looks like he has a full day of going crazy and flailing and scaring birds away, doesn't it? Jeb Scarecrow was just a kid, but he did a fine job at his guarding of the family pumpkin patch. Those pumpkin seeds had sprouted up all around him right nicely last spring. Now they were huge orange pumpkins basking in the October sun. Look how big his pumpkin is. In the evenings, when the crows were in their nests, Jeb walked along home to the little straw cottage he shared with his mom and dad in the woods at the edge of the pumpkin patch. "Jeb, I've got news for you, son," said Dad at night at the dinner table. "There's talk among those crows of a big harvest celebration right in your pumpkin patch, the week before Halloween." Jeb dropped his fork. "Why me?" he cried. "Why now? Why my pumpkin patch?" "Those crazy crows throw a party every year, son. So far as it's been in other scarecrows' pumpkin patches, this year they've chosen yours." They'll peck and they'll pick at all my pumpkins," wailed Jeb. "I won't be able to sell any of them for Halloween. Oh man, what am I gonna do?" "Not much you can do, son," said Dad, shaking his head sadly. "No scarecrow ever won out over those crows when it comes to their harvest bash. No, sir, not one scarecrow ever won." "There's no way around it," said Jeb. "Well, your pumpkin patch is as good as gone right now. You might as well forget it. There's always next year." "Nope, they just can't have it. Not my pumpkin patch," said Jeb. "I will come up with a plan." Each day, Jeb Scarecrow stubbornly showed up in the pumpkin patch at dawn's first light. He tried to plot some way to save his pumpkins, but it took a lot of thought, and the crows didn't leave Jeb much time for deep thinking. He yelled and he angered the crows, and "You're not coming here," said Jeb. "You're not going to have a party here." And the party kept being planned by the crows. The crows kept saying, "Oh, yes, we are." There's not a scarecrow alive who doesn't get nervous the night before he has to do something important. That night, the night before the crows' big bash, Jeb tossed and turned and twirled until his sheets were twisted all around in the middle. Do you think he slept well that night? He did not. It was his last chance to think of a plan. He thought of this, and he thought of that, and he got up 3 times even to eat. Do you guys have a late night snack when you have trouble sleeping? I know I do. Well, at last, in the darkest hour of the night, Jeb hatched a plot. Never mind not much sleep. Jeb was up at dawn. As soon as Mom and Dad heard him, they leapt out of bed. Jeb told them of his plan. And what do you think Mom and Dad said? That's right, they're gonna help. All day long, the crows kept Mom and Dad running up and down the pumpkin patch while Jeb worked steadily. He covered some of his pumpkins with a shirt or a shawl or some piece of clothing, then mysteriously crawled under each one. What do you think Jeb is doing there with the pumpkins? Well, let's find out. "Give up, Jeb," cried Grandfather Crow. "We crows will win. You will lose. We never lose. We will win." "What are you going to do? Sneak like under those clothes? What are you going to do with those pumpkins? We know you're there." But Jeb didn't answer. At sunset, Dad shouted, "Jeb, the neighborhood crows have flown away to meet their guests." So Jeb jumped out from underneath a scarf and said, "Mom, Dad, quick, we've got to set up the last part of my plan." I'm really interested to see what his plan is. They still set forth, and the sky glowed in the twilight, but the earth was dark and shadowy when the Scarecrow family was finally finished. "I sure hope this works," whispered Mom. "Cross your fingers," said Dad. "Here they come." The sky darkened with noisy birds. Let's see what his plan was. "Wait till you see these mouth-watering pumpkins," Bernie Crow cawed loudly. "Yes, sir, it is party time." The crows are super excited. But as they came over the tops of the tree to Jeb Scarecrow's pumpkin patch, Bernie Crow hollered, "Hold everything! There's monsters! There's monsters in Jeb's pumpkin patch!" Those aren't monsters. Great orange heads, staring like spooks, grinned up at them wickedly from the pumpkin patch. "Turn back!" squawked the crows. The neighborhood crows tried to stop, but the crows behind them just kept coming. Soon the crows were all banging into each other, crawling and screeching, feathers flying everywhere. Turn back, shouted Lucy. "That pumpkin patch is haunted." "Stop pushing! Let an old go through." The party's over. The party is over. And Jeb won. Why, those weren't monsters at all. Those were jack-o'-lanterns. Jeb was under there carving all of the pumpkins, and it spooked away all the crows. As the crows disappeared over the trees, Jeb collapsed with laughter. Mom and Dad sat down beside him, hee-hawing until their sides hurt. The honking of a car horn silenced their laughter. I wonder what the car wants. Hey, Mr. Scarecrow, called a fellow from his car. I'll buy one of those jack-o'-lanterns for Halloween. I couldn't carve one better myself. And I'll want one of those plain pumpkins, too, for pie. A car pulled up behind his, and then another car. Soon the street was lined with cars. Folks were waving money and smiling at the jack-o'-lanterns and the pumpkins. Jeb was smiling too, as him and his mom and his dad hurried about selling their darling pumpkins. Well, look at that. Jeb was determined to not let those crows beat him. He devised a plan. He stayed strong, and he won. And he still got to get rid of his pumpkins at the end of the day. How awesome! Perseverance. That's what Jeb had. So, talking about pumpkins, I actually have a pumpkin right here. You may ask why it's carved out. Well, I have a hole in my pumpkin so that I can show you guys the different parts of a pumpkin. So, the parts of a pumpkin. We have the vine, which is what the pumpkin grows off of. And we have the stem. We have seeds in there. We have the fibrous strands, the outside of the pumpkin, which is the skin, and the inside of the pumpkin, which is the pulp. So, as you guys can see, I have some seeds here. I have the skin on this side. The skin is the outside of a pumpkin, and this part is the pulp. And then I also have some strands. So if you guys want to come into the library and you want to see parts of a pumpkin, you're more than welcome to check out mine. Or a really fun activity you guys could do would be to get your own pumpkin and do a dissection on it and find and label each part of the pumpkin. I've added a sheet in your grab and go bags that will help you guys label a pumpkin. All right, so I have one more book for you guys today, and then I'll explain your activity. So this book has Pete the Cat on it, and it is after one of our favorite songs to sing, Five Little Pumpkins. So if you guys know the song, you can probably read along in the book with me. Are you ready? Five little pumpkins sitting on a gate. The first one said, "Oh my, it's getting late." The second one said, "There are witches in the air." And the third one said, "But we don't care." The fourth one said, "Let's run and run and run." And the fifth one said, "Let's have some fun." What kind of fun do you think they're going to have? That's right. They're going to go trick-or-treating. Whoosh went the wind. And out went the lights, and the five little pumpkins rolled out of sight. They didn't roll on their bellies, though. What are they rolling on? That's right, skateboards. Can you guys help me count the pumpkins? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And Pete the Cat, of course. The end. That is a really fun book because it goes with a song, but it also has a neat take on it. And who doesn't love Pete the Cat? All right, so the activity I have for you guys in your grab and go bags this week are pumpkin patch name activity. So what you do is you will count out your pumpkins according to the letters that you have in your name. My name has 6 letters. Can you guys help me count? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Very good. So you're going to put your fence up there and you guys are going to stack your pumpkins to however many letters you have in your name. And then you're going to draw a spooky night. So in my picture, it makes it night because it's the moon. There's a dark tree with some black birds. And I have a skeleton on there too. And a few skulls. I can't wait to see how creative you guys get. So don't forget to stop in and grab your bags. And next week, we will be doing a story time in our backyard. So if you come to the library at 10 o'clock on Wednesday, we will be having an outside story time. I will still continue to do virtual story times too, but either way, you can come in and grab your go bag. All right, until next week, bye guys.